Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are going to discuss, I think it's 10 palettes that I was very close to not owning, but then through either some like miraculous PR thing or me just changing my mind and buying them at the last minute, I did end up adding them to my collection and I'm so happy I did. These are 10 palettes that almost got away from me. Some of them, most of them are still available. One of them is not available, but we'll chat about it when we get there. And if you haven't been there before, my name is Angie. Hello, I am a lover of fashion and makeup, especially colorful makeup and colorful fashion. Feeling a bit colorful today, it just makes me happy. Color makes me happy, and if you want to see some more color on your timeline, don't forget to subscribe because I do upload quite a lot of videos. I'm having even more palette videos this week, so hit that subscribe button, but let's just dive into it. So, 10 palettes in front of me that almost got away from me, but one way or another they ended up in my collection, and I'm gonna go in no specific order, but I am gonna start with the one, let me get it, it's in the bottom. I'm gonna start with the one that's not available anymore. This is the only one of these palettes I'm pretty sure that's not available anymore. All the other ones are still available and I will link them down below in case you're interested. This one, this is how the story with Kaleidos started. I had talked about this brand on my new makeup releases. This was the first release that they have ever made. This is the Deepsea Luster palette. I know this is like an unknown, like an unsung hero, literally. It's like a unicorn, the one that got away from a lot of people. Not everyone knows that this is the first palette that Kaleidos did. It looks like this. It is a stunning palette. I'm not gonna swatch it. I'm not gonna make you sad that it got away. This one is discontinued. It was limited edition. It's no longer available. But this is the first palette that Kaleidos came out with. And after this, they did a mini 6-pan palette. You know, the sci-fi green and the blah, 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 blah. All of those palettes after this one. I had talked about this palette because I'm gonna be honest with you. Kaleidos is one of my favorite brands, if not my favorite brand. But the promo pictures of this, it didn't really do it justice. Let's just put it like that. It's a stunning palette. It is one of my favorite palettes in my collection, and the promo pictures didn't really do it justice. So when I talked about this in my new makeup releases, I was like, I'm gonna skip, I'm out, peace out. So I didn't end up picking this one up, and then sometime later Kaleidos did reach out to me and they asked me, can we send this to you in PR? And I will say, I was like, because I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I have time to review this. Do I really want to add another thing to my collection at this point? But I ended up saying yes, and one of the best decisions ever because blew me away. One of the best palettes I own, and since then I've just grown more and more in love with the brand. So this is how it all started, and I was so close to not owning this palette. I mean, I said no, I didn't want to buy it, and then I almost said no to getting it in PR, but I'm so happy I did because this is that same amazing quality that Kaleidos, let's be honest, has always been known for. And yeah, so excited for their next launch. I actually happen to know what it is. Hold on to your panties. The next one that I was always a bit intrigued by this, it was a palette that I said, eventually I'll pick it up if the mood strikes. And this is the Dark Edit by Viseart. I was just never, it's so small and I love small palettes. This one is so cute, not even as big as my head, and I have a very small face. This is the color scheme I love. I love dark colors, I love jewel tones, I like grungy, colorful mattes, and it was just, for some reason, I didn't end up picking this one up. And I was so close at just being like, maybe I'll just never get it. But then I was in a frenzy trying out some new palettes from Viseart, and I was like, you know what? I'll just throw this one in as well. I'll just throw one of the older releases in. Let's just see how I feel. And this is still my favorite palette from Viseart. I think this is so beautiful, so versatile. This is the kind of palette that you could reach into and add depth or color into other like looks that need more dimension or looks that need something more. So happy I ended up picking this one up, but I will say, there were so many times that I almost picked it up and then opted out, including the one time that I actually did end up picking it up. I was like, should I really be buying this? It's an older palette, but so happy I did. I think it's beautiful. I think that the next video that I'm posting on my channel is gonna be me ranking all the palettes that I tried in 2020. Let's be honest, it is so many. It is so many. And when I went through, realized that this palette, the ColourPop All That, was released in 2020. It feels like a lifetime ago, but this one was the Valentine's release for 2020 from ColourPop. Do you even remember this? I said in my new makeup releases that I didn't want to buy this. This is the Cool Tone Red palette. I will actually say, I will put up the picture that ColourPop has on their side of this palette, and I think it shows it less red than it actually is, because this is a red, this is a red, this is a red, this is a red. I feel like it's showing it less red than it actually is. This is a red palette. These two matte reds are impeccable. And I said that I did not want to buy this palette, but this palette is the good ColourPop formula. It does have, well, it has one press glitter that's like a press glitter here, and then there is this color here. There's like a metallic red with some glitter in it. It's like a hybrid, but let's, for the sake of the argument, say that it's two press glitters, but this one is more of an eyeshadow with glitter. Does this make sense? And I don't love that. I really don't. But the other shadows in this palette is that great ColourPop formula that they used to have before they did some not as great palettes this year. I don't know what happened. Something took a turn over at ColourPop Labs, but if you were looking for this color scheme, this is great quality eyeshadow. I'm pretty sure that I have done a video on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have done a video of this. I did check, it's still available on ColourPop site. I said I didn't want this. It ended up being sent to me as PR. I tried it and I am pleasantly surprised. This is a good palette. If this is a color scheme that you want, I think you would like the palette. But yeah, I said I wasn't gonna buy it. I didn't buy it. It ended up reaching me in PR, and you know what? I'm happy it did, because it is a really, really good palette. Here is something that I was humming and hawing, and I was like, for myself, I was like, do I really want to buy a palette when I already own the stack? Because I own the She's in Parties stack by Melt. I own the stack, and it is somewhat like, it's the same colors, but this palette of course has more. But I was like, is that smart? Is it smart for me to be buying a palette when I already own half of the shades, more than half of the shades, because I think the stack has 5 shades. I was really like, is this a smart decision, Angie? Don't be buying dupes. Like, this isn't even a dupe, this is like the actual same thing again. But I ended up buying it because I was like, at the end of the day, I love the stacks, I really do. But I do really love the palettes as well, and I love that there are more shades in here. So I ended up buying it, and I did a video comparing the stack to the palette, and the palette is even better than the stack. And that's saying a lot, because the stack is amazing. So this is one of the best palettes that was released in 2020. Such a good palette. If you like this color scheme, I also think you would really enjoy it. I'm gonna mention something else. Hold. Don't buy it yet. I have more things to say on this subject, but I do think that this is so good. I'm so happy I bought it. I was on the fence, but at the end of the day, eventually I will declutter the stacks. But I will keep this one because it is amazing, and I'm so happy I have these colors in this like palette form. I will say, I don't personally think the front is that pretty. It's just like old school tapestry. I'm not blown away by the front of this palette, but the quality is beautiful. I really do love this palette, and I'm so happy I did end up purchasing it because it's so pretty. Here is something, you can almost like ring the shame bell at how much I was roasting the original Norvina by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I said I didn't want to buy it. I made a full video explaining. Listen, shame bell. Shame. Shame. Did a full video explaining why I didn't want to buy it. I will say though, that the things that I said in that video still stands true. I still wish that these two shades were something else, because I feel like that could have taken this palette into a whole nother dimension if this had been even more red and if this had been a dark purple. I still stand by that would have made this palette even better. But I'm gonna be honest, these shimmers are my favorite shimmers ever from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think they're absolutely stunning, and these mattes are really good quality, and both Soul and Volatile and Love and they're really nice. This was my favorite palette from Anastasia until they released the Amberisi, because I'm gonna be honest, I do love the Amberisi even more. I think the colors are impeccable, even though there are 2 in the palette that are like dupes, which I do not understand, but let's not talk about that. That's neither here nor there, but I really do love this palette. And when I saw it in real life, I was like, Ooh, but the colors that are in here, they're really nice. Still wish though that these two were something else, but I'm still happy I own it. I do think it's pretty. It's just not perfect, but I had to eat my own words and just admit that it is a really pretty palette. Here is something that I didn't buy because I thought that it was too neutral for me. I was above the, I was above the. No, but honestly, I don't know why I didn't buy it. It was just, I thought it was going to be too neutral for me. I loved Juvia's Place, but I didn't end up picking up the Nomad palette. It is a bit neutral. It's like a grungy neutral, but I've been more into the mix of colors and neutrals lately. So I ended up picking this up quite recently, actually, like this year, 2020. This was released, I'm pretty sure, in 2019. It's not this year, at least. And you know what? It's really nice. I'm happy I own it. And if nothing else, I'm happy I own it for the sole reason that I have almost every Juvia's Place palette, and it's nice for me to do a comparison. I really love Juvia's Place as a brand. I love the artwork, I love the formulas, I love how they look on my eyes, I love how they work. Like, I love how I feel like I can always make Juvia's Place shadows really work for me effortlessly. And at the end of the day, I like this color scheme even more now that I see it, and I think I feel I needed to get into this phase of loving colors and neutrals. I still prefer colors, don't get me wrong, but I'm in the phase right now where I'm like, colors and neutrals, I can get on board with that, and I do love this palette, and I'm happy I bought it, even though it took me quite some time, but I bought it and I'm really, really happy. This is something else from Juvia's Place, and I had decided that I wasn't gonna buy this. Here's the thing. I plan for my new makeup releases the entire week before I like film it. I film my new makeup releases on Fridays, and then I edit them on Fridays and I upload them on Sundays. So when things are being released on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like Wednesday, Thursday, I'm still thinking in my head like, what do I think about this release? What do I want to say about this release? Do I want to buy it? Do I want to buy it now? Do I want to buy it later? Like, all of these things are going through my head. And when I saw these two quads from Juvia's Place, this is the Fumi quad and the Melissa quad, I was like, you know what? This is going to be the release I'm skipping. Maybe not skipping forever, maybe like this one buying later, but I was like, I'm not going to buy this now. I have bought many things from Juvia's Place lately, and I don't feel like I have the time to make videos on these. I'm opting out. Here's the thing. I got these sent to me as PR after having decided that I was not gonna pick these up. I think the main reason why I didn't want to pick them up is because both of these include pressed glitters, and I love a quad, but I still stand by this. I wish that none of these had pressed glitters. But the two shadows here, the blue matte and the blue metallic, are amazing. But I'm even more thrilled with the Melissa quad because these three shades are incredible. Let me pull up the Melt palette again, because these are very similar in tone. Am I struggling? Ah! These are very similar in tone. Can you see how similar these are in tone? And I will say, you will be able to do a similar look with the Melissa quad like you can do with the She's in Parties. Of course, this one has more shades. This one has this row here, and you have nothing similar in this quad here. And this one has pressed glitter. I wish that this pressed glitter disappeared. Honestly, I really do. I don't need it. I don't want it. It's nothing wrong with the pressed glitter. And if you love a pressed glitter, there's nothing wrong with this pressed glitter formula. If I want glitter, I don't reach for glitter like this. That's just the honest truth. Sometimes I use them on camera just to show you how they look, but outside of YouTube, I never use a pressed glitter. I'm gonna be totally honest. If I use a glitter, that's not how I use it. So I just kind of wish they disappeared from palettes. At the end of the day, I still do prefer this one, but this one is so affordable. It's $10, and this one is what, 50, 55? I don't even know what Melt is on at this point, but if you were looking for a deep plum, this color scheme, something to deepen up your looks with, this is really great quality. And even if you don't like pressed glitters, $10, and you can use a code and you can get it down to $9. That's really, really affordable. I will leave my code down below in case you're interested, but I do prefer this one because it doesn't have a pressed glitter. But I mean, you can't beat this price point. You really can't. And I'm so happy I did end up getting these in PR, because I this made me realize, oh, they're stepping up the game even more, because I've always really liked the Juvia's Place quality. But these, the deep matte shadows in these palettes, they're even a step up, and it gives me so much excitement to see what they're coming out with in the future. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't include any press glitters, because yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Can we please just move on? Let's move on. This is a funny story. Funny story. I said that I was not gonna buy the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona, and then I opted out. I didn't buy it. I didn't order it. I didn't review it. But then I went to New York to Ipsy. Oh my god, I miss seeing friends. Anyways, I went to Ipsy live in New York with my friend Karen Harris and Amy from Amy Loves Makeup. We shared a hotel room, and Karen was like, do you know what? Natasha Denona is having a meetup in New York. Let's try and catch it. So we went to the Sephora that's at Times Square. We went in line, and they said, to meet Natasha, you have to buy something. I'm guessing because they couldn't, the line was over, there was a lot of people there. So we ended up going down, we looked at the Natasha things, and both Amy and Karen said, Angie, you will love this palette. And I looked at it and I swatched it, and I was like, the more I looked at it, the more I was like, actually, this is more colorful than I thought it was gonna be. And these like dark, again, I like dark, colorful matte shades is my life. That's what I want. And this one has two of the best in the game, and I just ended up caving. I bought it. I got it signed by Natasha. It was really fun and cool meeting her, and it was just such a nice, positive experience. This is a memory of that amazing weekend that I had meeting all my friends. Just, this is one of the best travel memories, and I'm just so happy that I ended up buying it when I did. But I had said that I was not gonna buy this, but then I did, and if you've been on my channel, you know how much I've raved about this palette. This is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. This is the palette that I recommend if someone wants like a grungy blue-green but still neutral palette. It is impeccable quality. I'm so happy I did end up buying it, even though it is pretty expensive. And listen, if you think that makeup could never be worth this, then it isn't. Then this isn't for you, and you shouldn't feel sad about that, because listen, I'm gonna mention a palette now that is so affordable. Just get something affordable instead. But for me, I'm so happy I own this. I really do love the Natasha Denona formula, and there is something special about the formula, so I'm so happy I have it, even though I said I wasn't gonna buy it. I was very close to not owning this one. Had not my friends told me to get it, I wouldn't have. Now, this is something I had tried. I tried the Ice Cream Shop palettes by BH. I'm even wearing an BH palette today. I'm wearing the Summer in Saint-Tropez. I tried them and I was like, I was blown away by the quality. Blown away by the quality. I tried some BH before, and it was, some of it was okay. Some of it was nice. Like, this is nice. It's nice. Like, it's fine. Some of it was like, I didn't like it at all. So I was hesitant with the Ice Cream Shop palettes, because I was like, this is gonna, I mean, this could end up being burning trash. Like, honestly, this could end up being trash. The quality was impeccable, like, not good for the price, good. So when they announced this one, I was like, do I want to try some more BH Cosmetics? Do I want to try more BH Cosmetics? This is a half neutral, half colorful palette. It's very cool tone. This is a beautiful, like, plummy dark color. And I was like, do I want to try another BH palette? Because I also got really good views on the BH Cosmetics videos. So I was like, maybe my audience is interested in more colorful, like, affordable makeup. So I saw this pop up at Beauty Bay. I ended up buying it, even though I was like, I was so humming and hawing. I was like, do I really want to add another palette? Am I really gonna love this? Is this a waste of money? What if that Ice Cream Shop was like just a one thing, and the other palettes are the same, like, formula that I tried before? I love this even more. I love this even more than I love the Ice Cream Shop palettes. This has so much variety. The packaging is nice. There's a lot of shades in here, but still it's not that obnoxious size. It goes from light to dark, shimmers, that really like high sparkle shimmer formula that I really love. Light shades, dark shades, neutrals, like colorful shades. There are colorful mattes. There are 3 colorful mattes in here. There are light ones, deep ones, and then this one that's actually very plummy red on the eyes, even though it looks like brown here. And then there's a black. It does have some sparkles in it, but to be fair, that doesn't bother me, at least not on the eyes. I'm just blown away by the quality, blown away by the looks I've done with this. I've done 3 looks with this on YouTube. No, 2 looks on YouTube, 1 for Instagram. Since then, I have bought so many BH Cosmetics palette. The ice cream shop started it, but this one is what really sparked it, because this made me realize the ice cream shop is not a one-time thing. That's not a lucky shot. They really did do something. So I was very close to being like, nah, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna get it. But I'm so happy I did, because this palette truly blew me away. And if you wanted to try something that's more affordable, I highly recommend this one. I have tried quite a lot of BH Cosmetics palettes since then. I am wearing, like I said, the Summer in Saint-Tropez. I enjoyed this one as well. I think it's really good, but there's something special about this one. This one and the Avocado Toast if you like greens more. But I like blues more, so for me this is like what I prefer. But I'm so excited. They also did just announce, when I'm filming this morning, they announced the Lost in Los Angeles. Spoiler alert, I did end up purchasing that. I think I talked about it in last week's new makeup releases, but sometimes I think in my head, like, what are the PR lists that you wish that you could end up on? And nothing rose more to the top in 2020 than BH Cosmetics. That would be cool. Really, I've been enjoying, and this one is so nice. I was so close to being like, because I had it in my basket, I was like, do I really want to review this? So happy I clicked this home, because this has my heart. I'm so excited. And that was everything for this video. Let me know, is there any palettes in your collection that you ended up really enjoying or having a very positive experience with, even though you were so close to not owning them? Love to hear about it down in the comments. I will also leave the video down below where I talked about the palettes that I almost bought in 2020 but then didn't, and I'm kind of happy I didn't. Why I didn't buy them. I will leave that video down below as well if you want to see it. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you, I will see you in my palette ranking. That should be my next video coming on Wednesday, I think. Bye!